Okay, so the world of search, it is changing so incredibly fast. And let's be honest, the old rules, they just don't apply anymore. In this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise and give you a clear, actionable playbook to really win in 2025. Let's get into it. So I want to start with a question for you, a really direct one. Just take a look at your current strategy. Is it built for a world that, well, no longer exists? Because the digital landscape is literally shifting under our feet, and the stuff that worked even yesterday is becoming obsolete fast.
And this isn't just a small tweak, it's fundamental. Things like linear funnels, last-click attribution, that whole playbook is basically a history book now. We have entered the era of the great unbundling. And that's where the customer journey has just shattered into 1,000 different pieces across countless platforms.
All right, first things first. The old rules are completely broken. The traditional customer journey hasn't just been tweaked, it has totally collapsed. And relying on those old metrics right now, it's like trying to navigate a new city with a map from 1985. It's just not going to work. And to get a sense of just how big this change is, think about this. You know that old saying that it takes 7 touch points to make a sale? Well, today, data from Focus Digital shows that number has exploded to over 20, from 7 to 20 plus.
I mean, just picture the journey, right? A user sees your brand on TikTok, then they get an email from you, then they actually search for you on Google, and then they see a paid ad on some news site, and maybe, just maybe, they ask a friend about you on WhatsApp. It's a chaotic, tangled web. You know, the e-commerce consultant Luke Carthy absolutely nailed it with this quote. We need to stop attributing 100% of the sale to 5% of the journey. I mean, giving all the credit to that one final click completely ignores the other 95% of the work that actually built the trust to get them there.
Okay, so we've got these super complex human journeys, but just as we're trying to wrap our heads around that, this massive new force shows up. It's time to stop thinking of AI as just a tool for us to use and start seeing it as a brand new type of customer. And look, this isn't some sci-fi thing that's years away. Just check out this timeline. We're talking Perplexity, Google, OpenAI, all the heavy hitters are rolling out platforms that let AI actually buy things for us. This is happening right now.
So this all leads to a really important new term, agentic commerce. And what is that? It's a world where these autonomous AI agents are basically doing the shopping for us. They find the options, they compare them, and they complete the purchase. The whole journey gets compressed.
So you might be asking, why should I care? Well, here's why. Marketing to AI isn't just a theory, it's crazy profitable. Early data is already showing that visitors from AI search convert 4.4 times higher than human visitors. This isn't just more traffic, it's high-intent, high-value traffic you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Okay, so everything's been unbundled, it's chaotic. How do we put it back together? The answer is a new strategy. We're calling it Search Everywhere. And this isn't about just being on every single platform. It's about being present wherever your audience, whether it's human or AI, is looking for answers. And this right here is probably the biggest mental shift we all need to make. For years, the goal was just visibility, just showing up. But in 2025, that's table stakes. It's not enough. The new goal is preference, becoming the one that both humans and their AI agents actually choose. So how do we get to that preference? It's through what we call the search trifecta. And here's the deal. Brand, search, and social. They can't be in their own little silos anymore. They have to work together like a single engine. Brand builds that story, social makes it culturally relevant, and search is there to capture the final conversion. All right, so we've got the big picture strategy, but what about the nitty-gritty? How do we actually create content that these new AI customers will get, that they'll trust and, actually pick? Well, first, you got to understand how these things think. And this is a great way to picture it. A traditional search engine, it's like a bookshelf. It just organizes information. But an LLM, a large language model, that's more like a human brain. It doesn't just organize, it connects ideas. And that's why entities are so important now. There's something called named entity recognition, or NER. The AI goes through your content and identifies all the key things: your brand, your products, people, locations. These are the literal building blocks of its knowledge. And then it connects all those things using something called embeddings. The simplest way to think about these is like numerical fingerprints for your content. The AI uses these to understand meaning and relationships, going way beyond just matching keywords to find what's truly relevant.
Okay, so we have a new game plan, new tactics. But wait, if that last click doesn't tell the whole story anymore, how in the world do we know if we're winning? We have to start measuring the parts of the journey that used to be, well, invisible.
Just look at this number for a second. 84%. Let that sink in. What is that? That's the estimated chunk of online sharing that now happens in what's called dark social. This is the new word of mouth. It's happening in Slack, in WhatsApp, in emails. When someone just copies a link and texts it to a friend, your analytics tools just see direct traffic. The real source? Gone. It's a huge blind spot. So, it's clear we need a totally new dashboard, right? With a whole new set of North Star metrics. Instead of only looking at clicks, we should be asking, what's our visibility score in AI? How often are we getting mentioned in AI answers? Are we being cited as the source? What's our share of voice? And the big one, is all this stuff actually driving an uplift and people searching for our brand by name? That's what winning looks like. So we've talked strategy, tactics, measurement, but honestly, none of that means anything without the most important part of the equation, your team, the people who have to make all of this happen. And let's just be honest for a second. Change is exhausting. Change burnout is a massive, massive risk. You can have the most brilliant, future-proof strategy on the planet, but if your team is burnt out, siloed, and demoralized, it's going to fail. Period. That's why a framework like STARS is just so helpful. It forces you to get real about where a project actually is. For instance, are you in a turnaround situation? Then you need quick, visible wins to build back confidence. Or are you in accelerated growth where you have to prioritize efficient, scalable processes? Matching your strategy to the real-life human situation is everything. You know, at the end of the day, this quote from Sharon Gwadi really brings it all home for me. Behind every metric is a story attached to a real person with real needs. And that's not just true for our customers, it's true for our teams too. So I want to leave you with this one big question. In this new world of agentic commerce and search everywhere behavior, just being visible is not enough. The only question that really matters now is this: how will you earn your customers' preference for both the humans and for the machines that they trust?